Yeah, how are you doing today?
Good.
Well, that's good. Say, do you mind if I ask you a few questions, please?
Who is calling?
This is Terry Nemmers.
Well, hi.
How are you?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
Well, that's good. That's good.
What kind of questions and how come?
Well, I'd just like to ask you some questions on your procedure for drunk driving.
And have you been arrested?
Oh, no. Nope. This is just for my own personal use. I was wondering, I'm aware that you have to read people their rights if you're going to do an interrogation on someone for a drunk driving.
No, if we're going to have them in custody.
Right. I'm presuming that this person's arrested already. All right, he's in custody, and you want to have him sign an implied consent. Do you make sure you?
Okay, now you've said two things. Now you said
Okay.
Miranda and implied consent, which are two different things.
Right, you read them the Miranda, and then you have them sign an implied consent. Correct? I mean, you have to sign a waiver of rights, to do interrogation, and then the implied consent is for the breathalyzer test. Correct? Yep.
You need to tell me your motives. We'll get done with this a lot quicker. I'm not going to come. When we arrest somebody,
Okay.
we read them their rights.
Okay.
They can ask for an attorney, or they can talk to us.
Right.
It's their choice.
Right.
Now, an implied consent is a totally different thing.
Okay.
What we do is when we read implied consent, which is a civil action, we explain that pretty much that we believe they are impaired because
Okay.
of this, and this.
Okay.
And that because they have a Minnesota driver's license, they actually have agreed to this test and
Okay.
agreed not to drive drunk, and you understand all these rights, and would you agree to a breath test? And if they consent,
Okay.
we're making checks down it.
Okay.
And if they refuse, we mark it on those paper and a refusal
Okay.
to take the test, because really by driving in the state of Minnesota, you've already agreed to this test.
Right.
It is another
Right.
criminal charge.
Okay. Alrighty. So, do you record these conversations then? So, I mean, so that way they can't say that you coerced them or anything like that? That type of thing?
I can guarantee you in Minnesota, we don't have to set up or frame any.
I'm not.
Drivers, there's plenty of them running around.
Right. I'm not
It
saying
depends on
that.
whose car they're in. Say if I exit, I'm more of an office person, so I don't have all that equipment in my car. No, I don't have to.
Okay. But I mean, it's for your protection.
Whose car you're in, or a deputy, or...
Right. But I mean,
And that's probably more of a question for an attorney.
right. But what I'm saying is, it's more for your protection than to make sure it's all recorded, so they can't say that no funny business was going on or that they never agreed to it.
Everybody's protection.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to imply that you're got anything underhanded going on. I'm just trying to understand how this works. Okay? So, would someone, like say they're in the back of a car, all right? The trooper has a video in the car, correct? So, I mean, he can videotape what's going on inside. I mean, so in case the prisoner gets unruly or spits or whatever, he can document that activity, correct?
You need to tell me what is this pertaining to?
Well, like I said, I'm just trying to find out if this is recorded and how it's
So you
recorded.
just woke up this morning and decided you were going to call around and decide to ask how we arrested DWY. I am guessing that you've been arrested, or a friend or someone close to you has.
Nope. Sorry.
And you're looking to give me information to defend them?
No. Sorry, I don't.
This is why you call attorneys, because they know all this and they know all the procedures and they can assist you with this.
Right, but you're the person who actually does it, though, so that's,
I know, but you're not telling me.
Well, I guarantee
what's
you.
going on here.
I guarantee you that I was not driving. I was not drunk. I don't have any friends that did it. Guarantee you.
That's not the point, but I'm not going to move into hypotheticals unless I know your angle.
Well,
I'll tell you how we do stuff.
right. That's what
I
I'm.
did already.
Right.
We will put someone in our car, depending on whose car you're in.
Right.
The tape will be on. It's
Right.
When people are angry, a lot of times they'll accuse police officers of things they never did.
Exactly.
And I can tell you that that tape clears that up a million times.
That's exactly what I'm getting
We
at.
have the tape. We don't interrupt the tape. We don't delete portions of the tape.
I never said you did. I never said you did.
When we leave, we go into the jail, which all jails are taped.
Okay.
Especially in the booking area.
Okay.
And we just follow procedure in our evidentiary process.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's all I'm asking. Like I said, I'm not pointing any fingers. I'm just asking what the procedure is. So would someone take their own personal tape recorder and record this implied consent?
That's a hypothetical. That's an individual.
Right.
They usually have their mics. I don't know. Unless you tell me the situation, I'm not going to guess.
Okay. So is it policy for a trooper to turn off their mic when doing an interview?
You know what I'm going to do? You keep wanting me to be frank with you, and you're not being frank with me.
Well, like I told you.
Don't come up with these questions just waking up in the morning.
Well,
what you need to do is tell me what this is about, and I can get you to the proper person, or we're going to send you up to a lieutenant, okay?
Well, if you want to send me to a lieutenant, that's fine. I have an absolute problem with that.
Just hold on then, and if I hang up on you, I want you to call 507. I'm going to try to transfer you, but I'm not so good. 507-344-2763. And that's a lieutenant. But I am going to try to transfer you, okay?
What's his name?
Lieutenant Kruger.
Okay, thank you. Okay, it's time to end this little game here.
Hello, this is Captain Hodapp. You've reached the Minnesota State Patrol District Office of 2200. I'm sorry that I'm unable to take your call, but if you would leave a brief message with a return phone number, I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you would like immediate assistance, press 0 and a member of our staff will assist you. Thank you and have a great day. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hello, Captain Hodapp. This is Terry Nemmers, 320-283-5713. I just was on perpetual hold from your Sergeant Jacqueline Sticka. She was supposedly supposed to be transferring me to a Lieutenant Bill Kruger, and I sat on the phone for approximately 10 minutes. I've been timing this whole thing, so I'm pretty accurate on my timing there. Just asking some basic questions, and your officer or your trooper was pretty rude to me and making all sorts of accusations, which I didn't appreciate. Just trying to find out some information. You're public servants. I think people have a right to know what's going on. Thank you for your time. Bye. January 9th, 2013, going to call Captain Lori Hodapp.
Captain Hodapp.
Yes, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
Well, that's good. This is Terry Nemmers. I called you yesterday.
Yes, you did, Terry, and Lieutenant Kruger called you back.
Actually,
you know that your voicemail is not set up to accept messages?
what number did I give as a callback number?
We simply called back the number that's showing here as 320.
Okay, I gave you 283-5713 as a callback number, correct? That's the voicemail. That's right. So any other number you would call is not what I wanted, correct? Because I gave a specific number as a callback number, correct?
Terry, the message that I received.
The message that I left is 320-283-5713. I don't appreciate your passive-aggressive behavior. I don't...
Please call me back.
Sorry.
But I'm not going to put up with this kind of condescending attitude from you because we did try to call you back. You called and reached a safety education officer who then tried to forward a number, and it was unable to be forwarded, and that's why you sat for 10 minutes. It's because it wasn't
13 minutes and 25
That's how
seconds.
you got my number.
13 minutes and 25 seconds.
On my particular message, so I gave Lieutenant Kruger your message based on the number that appears on my phone. So, pardon me if I didn't have a particular phone number to call you back on, and I'm certainly willing to talk to you, but not.
I have
mutual respect for each other.
I have the message queued up right now. If you want to listen to my message to you.
Well, I don't know what number you got to me, but mine was handed to me, and so.
Oh, so it was handed to you.
I tried to call you back, and I am the district commander. I supervise 10 counties, Terry. You're reaching basically the chief of police here. And so it isn't that I sit at my desk all the time. I get from my executive assistant that I have a number that appears on my phone. So why don't we start over? And if you would like to give me the number that you want to call back on, that would be great. But don't assume that we didn't try to reach you. So what number is 320-334-1779?
It's not a number that you're authorized to call. I told you which number I wanted you to call. It's 320-283-5713. You understand?
Okay, do you understand that you are going to speak to me civilly, or we just don't talk?
I am being civil. You're the one who's being passive-aggressive. I'm stating facts. You're being argumentative. Real simple.
What can I help you with today?
I wanted to deal with this situation of yesterday, of being left on hold for 13 minutes and 25 seconds. I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate little allegations or innuendo or whatever your little sergeant was trying to imply that I'm some sort of drunk driver or my friends are drunk drivers. I don't appreciate that. Do you understand that?
I have no idea what your conversation was. All I know is
I can play it for you. Would you like me to play it for you?
No, all I would like you to realize is I have no idea, and it isn't my sergeant. She does not work for me. So I don't know what number you reached or what your issue was, but why don't you start and first of all tell me what incident you're talking about, who the trooper is that you're talking about, and we'll go from there.
Sergeant Jacqueline Sticka is your public information trooper.
Okay.
Right. I called her up and I was asking her some basic questions, and she starts asking some basic questions about drunk driving arrests, the proper procedure for it. And then she says, well, you didn't wake up, like this. As far as my guess is, you got some drunk driving charge, or your friends are drunk driving. I said, no, sorry, that's not the situation. And it's not the situation. All right?
Okay.
I don't like implications that I'm a drunk driver or my friends are drunk drivers. I don't run around saying that you're a criminal or that she's a criminal, right?
So, let me back a minute. You called asking just for basic information about drunk driving, and you specifically got a hold of Sergeant Jackie Stika in order to simply get information about procedures or statutorial law or whatever, your basic phone call for information. You don't feel like she treated you well, and so that's what your issue is. This isn't about a traffic stop or another trooper or something like that.
No, I was asking for some basic information, and she cops an attitude. I don't appreciate that. You know, I'm asking some basic questions, and then she starts making all these innuendos or allegations or whatever you want to, however you want to describe it. I didn't like it at all. All right.
Okay.
So I don't like contempt of the public.
Right.
All right, and that's what it was. And this calling this other number when I gave a specific callback number is another contempt too. I don't appreciate that either.
So,
all right.
Typically what happens, Terry, is if I'm getting a complaint about something, it has to do with someone who works for me or someone I supervise or that kind of thing. So when, I don't know why she would have referred you to Lieutenant Kruger. Did she say why she tried to transfer your call? But by the way, the call never transferred.
Well, I think I hung up after 13 minutes and 25 seconds. That's why.
No. I'm just trying to tell you the call didn't transfer. Lieutenant Kruger was sitting in his office during that time. The call that she tried to transfer didn't transfer. So I'm just trying to tell you that was part of the problem, is he never got a call.
Well,
I never received that. So anyway.
That's not my problem, though.
No, it's not. So what I'm trying to tell you is when I handle these calls, if there's a complaint about a trooper or a complaint about an incident or a complaint about something that's within my supervisory realm, then the first line supervisor will take care of it. And we're very interested in that if that occurs, and we take care of those calls. I'm just sort of curious why Sergeant Stika told you she transferred this. Why did she transfer this call to...
She didn't like the questions I was asking.
You know?
She didn't like the questions I was asking. She's trying to imply I had some ulterior motive, and I don't appreciate that either. All right? I'm just trying to find out some basic information.
Right.
It's not like it's top secret there. Well, obviously it must be in her mind. But the thing is, the reason I called you, I'm on the Minnesota Department of Public Safety website, District 2200, and you're listed as Captain Hodapp. All right?
Yep.
Staff contacts. You're at the top of the list. She's at the bottom of the list. So that's why I called you. All right?
Yeah, she has an office here, but her direct supervisors are actually located in St. Paul. Eric Lasky is his name, and also just for your information, he is the lead in all public information across the state. He does all the media things, answers all the questions.
Yeah, I'm well aware of that.
Statutes, et cetera. But she does not report to me. She reports to him. She happens to have an office that we've given her here because her residence is located in Mankato, but she actually covers all of southern Minnesota and reports to Captain Roski.
Right. I understand that. I'm reading off of your website. It says District 2200, Captain Lori Hodapp. You're on the top of the list. She's at the bottom of the list. So I'm just going by what I'm seeing here. I don't care if she's got another officer that she reports to. I'm reporting it to you.
Right. And so what I would like you to do, though, is talk to her supervisor.
Oh, Lieutenant Roski?
Yes. And the other thing I would be curious about is, you said you have a tape of your conversation with her?
I'm taping this one, too.
Okay. Well, I figured you were. I think that
well, if you
have
were,
that, do you have the capability of forwarding it via email?
No, I'm not that computer literate.
Okay, but you have the capability, certainly, of playing it. So I think that's a valuable thing when you're talking about having conversations with people, and so I'm sure that Lieutenant Roski would appreciate it if he could hear that as well. So I'm only telling you that that is the person that you should be reporting to, because that is who she reports to.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's valuable that you have the discussion with him. But my other question for you is, did you get your questions answered about whatever it was that you were calling her initially for?
Well, obviously I didn't, because she copped an attitude and stuck me in virtual hold for 13 minutes and 25 seconds. I had a whole bunch more questions I wanted to ask, but obviously, being stuck on hold for 13 minutes didn't get me any of the rest of my questions asked.
Right. Well, I'm just telling you that the phone call did not go through.
Well, that again is not my problem. That's a problem on your end, not my end. All right? I don't necessarily need to have your excuses why it did. All that matters is I was sitting in virtual nothingness while listening to your Muzak for 13 minutes and 25 seconds, which again I didn't appreciate.
And so what you'd like to do is what? You want answers to your DWI questions and you want to talk to Sergeant Stika's supervisor?
I didn't say what I was going to do. What I would like is you to answer me a couple of questions, if you don't mind.
What? Go ahead.
Okay. If I submit a MDT, you know what an MDT is?
No, I don't know what
Mobile Data Terminal request, data request for a...
Oh, yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so you know what that is. If I submitted one to your office, how long would that take for you to process the MDT data request?
And what kind of data is it?
Well, it would
What are
be...
you looking for?
Well, whatever data is on the MDT that I'm allowed to have.
Well, what you'd have to let us know is what is the data you're looking for? What time frame is it? What date
Well,
is it?
okay.
What kind of data is it? Often determines where it will be processed and by statute how long we have to process it.
Okay. Well, I'm just talking about an average traffic stop, an average drunk driving traffic stop. Like
I believe that statute gives 7 days minimum.
Okay. 7 days minimum. All right. And then, okay, well, I guess that answered my question then. And then, so I could submit it to your office? Or you said it depends on where...
Yes, it depends on what data it is, because there's data that I have here that you can put in writing and you can make the request for.
Okay.
And we release data all the time out of this office. We release reports, we release all kinds of data as long as it's public data.
Right.
But not if it's not data that I don't collect in my district. So if you're looking for, say...
No.
I don't know.
I'm saying if it would be from your district... Okay, it was a traffic stop from your district, just a basic drunk driving arrest. You're saying it would take 7 days to process the MDT.
We could do it. We may be able to do it faster, but MDT data isn't downloaded here in our office. It would be downloaded out of central office.
In the cities.
It just really kind of depends on what you're looking for, whether I have to call the 911 communication center to get data, whether I can do it.
Okay.
Whether it's hard copy here that I can just copy and send to you.
Okay.
And we first have to get your signature, of course, that's how it works.
Yeah.
And so it really just depends, but we do this all the time and we don't hold it up. We get it out as fast as we can.
Okay. Okay. Well, that was the question I was leading to before I was stuck on virtual hold. So I appreciate the fact that you answered my question.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with that.
Okay.
This is an everyday occurrence for us. So
Okay.
But it just has to be specific so that we can retrieve it.
Right.
And then there are the administrative staff, and I would put you on to who our administrative staff member is Sharon Munchausen, who does all the data request sort of tasks in our office.
Okay.
And she would take your name and where you want it sent and
Okay.
get your signature and take care of you that way.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Well, when I get that information situated out, then I'll contact you.
I would suggest that you call Sharon, and I'll give you the phone number
Okay.
of our office.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
It probably is on the website. I'm not sure. It's area code 507
Okay.
344
Okay.
2754.
5-4.
You can do this via
Okay.
email as well.
Okay.
Sharon, SHARON,
Okay.
dot Munchausen, MON as in Nora, SHAUGEN, at state.mn.us.
Okay. Alrighty. Thank you for
So
your
all
time.
data requests typically go through her, and she can tell you what the process is. She can tell you if there's any fees associated with it.
Okay.
She can estimate, even give you an estimate depending on how many pages it is or what type is it. Is it audio? Is it visual? And then if there is protected data contained within what you're asking, we have to redact.
Right. Right. Okay. But it's still going to be somewhere within the 10-day time frame. Or 7 days.
Once we get your signature,
yeah.
we can probably handle it that day and get it out.
Okay. Okay.
Depending on what it is.
Right.
On what it is. If it's audio or visual, those kind of things we have to retrieve from troopers themselves.
Okay.
Out of their squad cars. That, I'm just trying to give you a feel for how we get them.
That's fine.
If they are on vacation, if they're on days off, if they're working night shifts, of course we have to make that request to them. If it's audio visual, say out of the squad car, and then they have to deliver it to our office. That does take a few days sometimes.
Okay.
To get it, depending on schedules, because it isn't like, they could live over 100 miles away, and
okay.
we would have to retrieve it.
Okay. Well, then I guess I that brought up another question. So all this data is kept in their car. They can't keep it anywhere else, can they?
It depends on what exactly it is. If it's what you're talking about, mobile data, such as actual, what am I trying to say? Let's say it's email.
Okay.
That is saved on our network.
Okay.
So that I do not have to have them deliver. I can get that electronically.
Okay.
If it's actual tapes that they have in their cameras in their squad car, they may not. It may be located physically in their squad car. That is not backed up via squad car into any kind of network. We have to retrieve that.
Okay. How long can that stay in the car? How long can you record?
Until that particular tape is done. Until it's off. Yeah. And so it's just automatic.
Right, but how long is that tape?
Physically kept?
No. How long can it record for in one?
I'd have to put you in touch with our fleet. I don't have that off the top of my head, but it's days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty interesting.
They can go a number of shifts.
Okay.
That type of technology that can allow that to happen.
Okay.
And typically, minus a technical glitch, which does happen on occurrence, we may have audio on that as well.
Okay.
So, yes, you can have it if you make the request, and if it is not protected data for some reason.
Right. Okay. Well, I think that's all my questions. Again, I appreciate your answering my questions.
Yeah, it's not unusual to supply data to people.
Okay.
And if, in fact, you're looking for a specific, like I said, the more specific you can get, the easier it is to get. It's easy. It takes less time if it's a specific incident or a specific date or specific time or something specific you're looking for. It may sometimes it's even a specific 10 minutes that people are looking for.
Okay.
That makes it a lot easier for us to retrieve. If you ask me for that, a tape for, say, 30 days, well, reasonably, we'd have a lot more time to go through that because we'd have to go through and see if anything that we have to redact, if there's anybody else's information on there that you're not entitled to, which there would be, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. So, and the same for anything email or electronic, whatever data it might be. It doesn't matter what it is. The more specific, the better.
Okay. Alrighty.
Okay.
Sounds great.
If it is from our district and our an incident within our scope, then that request can come here. If it's something we can't retrieve here, we will take care of where it has to go to get retrieved.
Okay. Sounds great.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep. Bye now.